This comes not from Mount Sinai, but from the greater area. Dr. Kim found this, and it is the menorah. In Exodus, they take 10 verses. Yahweh takes 10 verses to describe in exact, precise detail, 10 verses, very detailed, how to make a menorah. Exactly how to make it. That's exactly what is described in those 10 verses. Down to the base, you notice the base, very distinctive, and the 7 candlesticks. It's exactly what the Lord described. So we have, when you see a menorah in the Arabian desert, it is proof there were Yahwehs running around the desert in the 15th century BC, because the writing on there is South Semitic, Thamudic writing from that period time of the Exodus, or to be like 100 within the next century. This is, I think, the most spectacular thing that Dr. Kim has brought out of there, and no one knew what it said until I translated it. If they had, it would have never left Saudi Arabia. It would be dust by now. But what it has on the right, on the back, it has a Yod He, left to right, and on the other side, it has a Vav He. But Yod He, Vav He, written in 14th century, Thamudic, the oldest alphabet known to historical science. From the area, it was found in the area on the pilgrimage path, about 100 kilometers away from Mount Sinai. It was given to the Prince of Mecca by Bedouin tribesmen from the area. So it wasn't found at the mountain. Some people will report that, but you really can't exaggerate things. It was not found at the mountain, but it was kept in the royal collection of the Saudi Museum. So this is not some fake, and you'll read that on the internet if you go out there. Gordon Franz has an article out there criticizing it, saying it's a fake. But look at it for just a second. The patina, which is the sheen that develops over the rock from centuries of weathering. When you cut a gash in the rock, it shows up like it's bright red or bright yellow or something. I mean, it's clearly a gash in the rock. Look at that. The patina inside of the grooves are the same color as the patina of the rest of the rock. That is a sign of extreme age. This was not sculpted last year by some boy in a remote village to sell to tourists. Now, in fact, such a thing might happen if you were in Egypt, say. But in Arabia, there is no tourist trade. There are no small boys that are inscribing rocks with the name of the ancient Jewish deity, which would be a horrendous heresy to them, and you would probably end up dead if you weren't imprisoned for the rest of your life. So the idea, there is no antiquities market like that. You don't take things out of Saudi Arabia. The reason Dr. Kim did was because he was a friend of the Prince of Mecca. I want you to look closely at the what looks like a pitchfork there. In Therabit el-Khadim, where they began to develop this pictographic alphabet, there was a hieroglyph that they called, and these are not believers or anything, they're just linguists. There was a hieroglyph that was only used in those inscriptions. Seldom was it used elsewhere in Egypt. And it is of a man with his hands raised above his head, crying out to the Lord, the timeless exclamation of, hey, what am I doing here? Something of that nature. So this hieroglyph was taken by the workers at the mine in Therabit el-Khadim, who are not very good with hieroglyphs, and they took these and developed a set of pictographs for their own language. And this was used for the He, the H, which is the letter He in Hebrew. So you can see it right there, and you can still see it on the name of God in the Dead Sea Scrolls, on the Paleo-Hebraic name of God. Right? It looks like an E, but it's still, you can see the pitchfork-looking thing. And it actually did become the E, because when the Greeks adopted the alphabet, they needed vowels. They were going to add vowels into their alphabet. So they used this for the E. So it actually is still with us in the letter E. The alphabet is the most important innovation in human history. There's only been one. All the others were adopted and adapted from this one.